today. That's a fact. The weather has turned, particularly in the last few hours. Mind you, I've had a couple of blanks on the bounce on the canal first thing in the morning. That's been the pattern of my angling at the moment, just 1 hour, then I've been able to get on with the rest of the day. Yesterday's session, I've had bites, by the way, and I almost landed something yesterday. It was a decent enough perch, I think, but I had a hook pull. But yesterday's session, I didn't get home till very late. I'd been at a working game in Wales, and by the time I got home, did some stuff, got to bed, it was 1:15 a.m. and I was still up at 6 o'clock a few hours later. I didn't even need the alarm, because I've got into this habit now of going fishing early in the morning, doing that 1 hour, and then getting on with other stuff. Quite busy at the moment with a number of things happening in my life. All good though, I must say. It's all positive stuff. But as long as I can get that fishing in, I'm happy. As I've said on a number of occasions, angling is a litmus test for me. My life is busy, but if I can get that session in, even at the moment, if it's just for 1 hour or so, then I'm happy. I know that I'm on the right side of the line. Balance is very, very important in our lives, and especially if you have a job or you have things in your life which take up a lot of time. It's important to get that right work, leisure balance. Robin just flew across there. I've been getting birds coming now that the winter's drawing in, of course. I've been getting birds coming, and I've been throwing them maggots. They soon get used to anglers, don't they? They know that fishermen equals food. Anyway, I'm watching this rod top, and it is very, very cold start. We do have sleet and snow forecast later in the day, but for now, let's see if I can get a fish on the bank. Third time lucky after 2 blanks. It might not be the biggest perch that I've ever caught, but I'll tell you something, when you consider the conditions, and I've had a couple of blanks on the bounce, this is more than welcome. It is most certainly a fish that gets me off the mark. This is my setup and approach this morning. It's the 6-foot Grays G-Lite spinning rod that I've been using recently, and also the Shimano 2500 reel 4-pound Maxima Chameleon. However, on this occasion it doesn't go right the way through, because via a loop to loop knot, and let me just pull that down there, via a loop to loop knot, I've got some 1 pound 6 ounce fluorocarbon as the hook length. That's actually about 2 feet or so there, but the rest of the setup is as previous sessions that I've been doing in this type of scenario. Small lead there, 1/4 ounce bead shot, and a size 18 Drennan Super Specialist on this occasion, with, as you can see there from the image, a small maggot, well, a single maggot. Maggots do vary though in size, don't they? When you look into the tub, some of them are a little bit bigger than the other, so I've tended to go for small on this occasion. I'm fishing off brickwork, so I'm not casting, I'm just dropping the bait into the edge, and as I'm doing so, I'm letting the lead sink, and then I'm bringing the rod up so that I can feel where the lead is. Therefore, when I put the rod down, I've got just a slight amount of slack. You don't want too much, because the bites are very, very finicky today. Well, they have been for a few days. Just slight little plucks on the end of the rod tip, and with that little slack, you can actually watch the line. That starts to move first of all, and when it's really difficult, I often strike at the line moving before it even hits the rod tip itself. I'm back out. I've got some brown chrome just put a few small balls out there. It won't overfeed the fish. Of course it will bring them in. 1 or 2 maggots in there as well. You need that to stimulate the fish. But one of the things is, as I've said so many times, don't put your bait out first. Test the water, so to speak. See what the general activity is that side of the water, and then you can develop your feeding pattern accordingly. It's a bitterly cold morning, and although the air temperature is 3.9 Celsius, it feels much colder than that because of the wind chill factor. I would say it feels 0 because of the wind that's coming in. However, and this is the important one, of course, the water temperature is 9.3. It's falling because it's been quite high recently, relatively speaking, for the time of the year. We've had a mild spell. That's falling. It's falling significantly now, especially as we continue in this very cold spell that's about to hit the UK. But as anglers, unless you take the water temperature, you don't really know what's going on beneath the surface. And when you do take the temperature readings, then you're able to get an accurate reading of what's going on. I know some anglers just put their hands in the water and say it's cold, but if you can get a thermometer, you can be a little bit more accurate than that. And also, if you fish places on a regular basis, the same place, you'll be able to develop a pattern, a trend. And it's all about, for us as fishermen, during the colder months of the year, it's all about a rising pattern, a rising trend. That's what you look for. So even if it's been 5 Celsius for a week and now it's 7, that's better than if it's been 10 and now it's 8, because it's a rising temperature. So yes, there are other factors involved. Don't think that just because the temperature's good or the temperature's on the increase, you will automatically catch. If you've been a fisherman for any length of time, you know that there are a lot more variables, a lot more unknowns even, that are thrown into the equation. I suppose that's the beauty of fishing, isn't it? You go, you're watching your rod tip, you're watching the float, the hanger on the rod, whatever it might be, waiting for the bite alarm to go off, and you just don't know. Whatever the conditions are, they'll perhaps give you a little bit more confidence or otherwise, but ultimately you don't know. I'm watching that rod now and I don't know if it will go again this session. I don't know if it will remain motionless till the time I pack away, but I also don't know if it will go and I'll have a £2 perch. That's the beauty of fishing, isn't it? You don't know. It's all part of the excitement of waiting for the next bite, the next fish on the bank. I'm ready to go shortly. Just small perch this morning. I tell you what though, I'm happy with that. If you are out fishing yourself in the UK over the next few days, I wish you tight lines, of course, but wrap up warm because we do have some adverse weather on the way. But remember that you never catch a tone sitting by a warm fire. Tight lines.